Hello, I'm Ricky R. Levon, author of The Judgment of Edom. This is the 13th biblical study I've written and the second one in 2024 that was published. It is interesting because this book is way smaller than the first book of 2024, the Gospel of Mark, but both are very important. The Judgment of Edom is a study on Obadiah, which is the smallest book in the Old Testament. Now, shockingly, there are actually 4 single chapter books in the New Testament. Nevertheless, I didn't want Obadiah to be rushed through, meaning I write a book with 2 lessons or 1 or something and be done, because it's small. For example, if you look at Philemon, it's a single lesson, because it's one of those single chapters, and it's combined with Titus in the book Prelude to Greatness. Jonah had 4 chapters in the Bible, and there's only like 5 lessons in its book, Out of Darkness. And those were good, but I didn't want to keep making every time there's one chapter for a particular book, then that just separates into just one lesson. Instead, the goal was to break down Obadiah and expand what's there so we can truly learn the message that was given. Sometimes the intricate details get lost if a person lumps a large section or chapter together. So, in this author's advice, it is merely a way or ideas just to give for you to take a short subject matter and expand it to get more knowledge and information for your customers and people. The first thing that you want to do is start with an overall view of the subject matter. For example, the main subject in this book is Esau and the Edomite nation. Because of this, the book starts with a background on Esau and the Edomites' relationship with the nation of Israel. For your book, screenplay, or script for a podcast, think about your overall subject before diving into the small subject matter you have chosen. Now, a great example would be looking at President Lincoln giving the Gettysburg Address. In the aspect of Lincoln's life, it's actually a very tiny portion of it. Still, this speech was significant to the degree that it's currently listed in its entirety at the Lincoln Memorial. But before you get into the address, start maybe with a broad overview of the Civil War. Get your audience to know what leads or what led up to the speech itself. Starting with an overview of the subject helps build a foundation for your readers and listeners. I know for the book, it sets the stage for where they're going and a little of what to expect. For Obadiah, it was important to learn more about the Edomites. After all, if you're unfamiliar with them, then seeing the prophet speak so harshly would seem a little out of place. And for anyone trying to learn about Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, not having the war as its background removes some of the gravity of the situation. Next up, break down the subject at hand into smaller parts. And when you're looking at Obadiah, it seems like it's just one long speech about God being angry at Edom. It appears that it's all about destroying them and what they did was wrong. However, upon further review, you can see that certain themes and subjects are mentioned when talking to Esau's family. Some of the messages include pride, how you treat enemies, the golden rule, and even restoration. For the Gettysburg Address, you can break the moment to the speech itself, Lincoln, the soldiers, the war. And regardless of what you're trying to say, think about how you can break down the main subject matter into pieces. Some questions to consider. What message are you trying to make? What is your purpose for reviewing this subject? Is there something different that you're bringing out of the subject that most have never covered? Answering these questions will help make an excellent choice to bring out the best book or form of entertainment to the people. Now, lastly, when working with a smaller subject, consider how to make your smaller pieces and work with telling the most of each thing. As was mentioned earlier, pride was one of the subjects in Obadiah. So, when looking at that one particular topic alone, it was imperative to see what the Bible said about pride. How does God feel about this mindset? What can we do to show pride, and how can we change our ways? Are there different types of pride, and what is the difference between them and confidence? So much can be done with that one topic alone that will expand the book. With the Gettysburg Address, you can literally start by explaining why did Lincoln start the way he did with 77 years ago? Or you can choose other aspects of the speech and begin to talk about the different emotions, mindsets, or actions he refers to. Taking a detailed approach might bring clarity and knowledge where most people were skipping over some informative truths. Looking at the details is important because it allows a person to realize the joy of seeing the minute things as important. Sometimes we bypass them, thinking it's, not all that important. But the truth is that the little things make life essential and grand. Once you go through the process, have fun. See what you can get out of it and share it with others. There are so many topics, books, and subject matters that get skipped because we deem them too small to be important. This is far from the truth, and hopefully this encourages you to look for more topics that might have been passed by many people, but you can make them awesome. For more on the judgment of Edom, please visit lavari.com/Edom for free chapters, videos, and more. The link would be in the description. It's available on Amazon and wherever books are sold, including hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and audiobook versions. Thank you for your support and prayers, and have an excellent time writing or broadcasting or just being entertaining to all who will receive you.